Tonight on CTV News at 11:30. Police are investigating after a pair of shootings in Timmins on Sunday.
We believe it was just targeted at the residences.
We will bring you more details about the investigation. Plus, unwelcome guests.
We're probably getting about 10, 15 calls a week just for that.
Residents in a Sudbury neighborhood take to social media over rising rat concerns. And lights, camera, action.
It becomes so much more powerful just by showing that queer and BIPOC people do exist in rural Ontario.
Filming is set to take place in Temiskaming Shores this week.
CTV News at 11:30 with Ian Campbell and Tony Rima with weather.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Ian is off this week. Timmins police are investigating a string of shootings in the city, including 2 deadly incidents. They're now releasing more details about the investigations. CTV's Lydia Chubak reports.
The most recent shootings happened Sunday in Timmins' North End. Shots were fired at 2 residences, but no one was injured. Police believe the same person was responsible, and that person has not been arrested.
We believe it was just targeted at the residences.
Donnell says the investigation is in its early stages. The shootings come just over 2 weeks after 2 homicides in the city. The first happened July 31st, following an altercation on Balsam Street North. 1 person was shot and killed. Within 24 hours, another shooting on Ray Street South left 1 person dead and another seriously injured. 4 people were arrested and charged.
The 2 individuals that were involved at the residence, they were charged with first-degree murder. So that's all before the courts at this point, and we'll see where that process takes.
Timmins police officials say all these incidents are related to the drug trade. Donnell says a significant quantity of drugs was seized during the August 1st incident, but says investigators have not established a definitive link among all 3 events.
At this point, we don't have anything substantive that we can say.
Donnell says patrols and compliance checks have been increased as the investigations continue. Lydia Chubak, CTV News, Timmins.
Timmins police have cleared the scene of an evening incident on Mount Joy Street between Sterling Avenue and Mohawk Road. Officers confirmed the situation was resolved shortly after 8 p.m. Details remain scarce, and it is still unclear what prompted the police response. We will provide updates as more information becomes available. Highway 144 is closed in both directions following a single vehicle crash. The highway is closed from Cartier to the watershed at Highway 560 in Gogama. Provincial police say the collision happened at 3:45 p.m. They say 1 person was airlifted to hospital with serious injuries. There's no word on when the road will reopen. No one was injured during a house fire on McNamara Street in North Bay this afternoon. Fire crews arrived shortly after 3 p.m. at a townhouse complex and say they were worried that flames would spread to the attic or to the neighboring units. They determined the tenant was not home at the time and there were no animals inside. Firefighters say there was significant damage to the inside of the home. The cause is under investigation. The Sioux's Algoma Steel is temporarily shutting down its steel making. As CTV's Corey Nordstrom reports, an outage at the company's Lake Superior power generating facility means operation of the electric arc has been suspended.
Between 10 and 21 days. That's how long Algoma Steel's electric arc furnace is expected to be out of commission. Company officials say a turbine unit at its Lake Superior power plant detected an abnormal condition and was automatically taken offline. In a media release, Algoma Steel officials noted that downstream finishing and shipping activities will continue. The company does not expect a significant impact on its ability to meet committed customer delivery dates, but adds that future shipment volumes may be affected by the outage. Algoma is working to bring in a spare turbine and is also making use of the time to undertake other operating maintenances at the power plant. The company is in discussions with the independent electricity system operator to evaluate other power supply arrangements that could see a restart within 10 days. Algoma Steel officials did not respond to a request for comment on this story, but have stated that they will provide timeline updates once their assessment is complete. Leadership for the two impacted steelworkers unions were also unavailable for interviews. However, they did say that company officials told them they were not anticipating any layoffs as a result of the outage. Corey Nordstrom, CTV News, Sault Ste. Marie.
To the community of Wiikwemkoong on Manitoulin Island. 2 people have been arrested after an incident last week. Police say 2 people were forcibly confined and attacked with significant injuries. Police were called to a residence on Dawima Road, and 3 homes in the area were later searched. Police arrested a 28-year-old man and a 20-year-old woman, both from Wiikwemkoong. Among the charges they face are forcible confinement and assault. The injured man and woman were taken to hospital and later released. Provincial police arrested 1 person in Temagami early this morning. Not much is known about the heavy police presence in the Highway 11 and Rabbit Lake Road area that began last night just before 7 p.m. Police warned the public of an older model Mitsubishi yesterday and requested people shelter in place. Around 1:30 this morning, police posted on social media that 1 person was in custody and there was no threat to public safety. It's something no homeowner wants to deal with. In Sudbury, residents in the Minnow Lake area have been taking to social media to express concerns about rats. More from CTV's Madison Merrier.
Multiple videos and images have been uploaded to social media showing large rats roaming around people's homes.
We're probably getting about 10-15 calls a week just for that. And, you know, and they're frustrated, the clients, because they never had this before.
2025, I think we were 5th place for Radio City. So that number comes from, it's a combination of all rodent calls. So that would be rats and mice that we do throughout the year. And yeah, we rank pretty high. We've always had a high mouse population, so rodents in general we're pretty high on the list. Just lately it's been rats that's the issue. So
community members started a petition asking the city to assist before the problem grows. In a statement to CTV News, the city says bylaw can investigate when complaints are made, but it did not clarify how many have been reported. City Councillor Bill Leduc says he's contacted the head of bylaw department on the issue.
I've asked her to assign staff in the area to look at it and get back and report to me, report something back to me. At this point in time, I haven't heard anything back yet.
Public Health Sudbury and District says rodents can pose health risks to people. We're told there are some things you can do to protect yourself and your space.
Typical things could be hantavirus. There's some bacteria like salmonella. There's some other fevers, rat bite fever, things like that they potentially can spread, right? So in an abundance of precaution, we want people to be aware of what they need to do to protect themselves and their families if they're dealing with rats or cleaning up after rats.
Rats are resource driven, so the main thing is to just keep food sources, shelter, anything you can do to keep them away.
Making sure that your garbages are secured with tight locks. Also, any kind of rodent like that needs water. So watching your water faucets outside, making sure that there's no drips.
Both organizations recommend checking nearby landscaping as well as sealing all gaps into your house. Meanwhile, Leduc says to continue calling 311 to report all instances of rat sightings. Madison Merrier, CTV News, Sudbury.
The Parry Sound Mega School is set to open this fall to students, and part of the school now has a proper name. The elementary school for JK to grade 6 students will be named for a highly decorated World War I soldier and Indigenous rights activist. Francis Pegmagabo, touted as Canada's most decorated Indigenous soldier, he was a sniper during the war before returning home. He then began a life of politics and advocacy. The City of North Bay is undertaking a 2026 parking study to better understand current and future parking needs throughout the city's downtown area. More from CTV's Eric Tashner.
Parking in the downtown is easy for some.
2 hours free parking, it's easy.
long as you know your license plate number.
But can be a headache for others.
Problem for some people who aren't familiar with QR codes for parking on the main drag, because I didn't see meters. We were using a phone and scanning, but I think maybe some seniors or people that don't have cell phones might have issues.
The city is looking to create a new parking strategy with feedback from its residents. RJ Burnside and Associates Limited will conduct a study to base the strategy on.
To understand how it's used, what are the pain points, some friction that's happening within the system, and should we make changes in the future, we need to understand what those impacts would be.
Maybe there's accessible parking, but there's like a step to get out of it onto the park or onto the sidewalk or something. So just those little details, more parking for accessible would be nice.
The study will examine the city's downtown parking system, including the future role of the McIntyre parking garage. This specific lot's payment options, permit parking, and how well the current system is meeting the community's demands.
Well, we need to understand the usage of that lot, who's using it, when they're using it, are they comfortable using it?
A parking needs assessment is scheduled to be completed in October, with the creation of the new strategy sometime between October and December.
2 hours free is excellent, but you could probably open it up to a few more of the areas downtown, a few more lots.
The surveys are available on the city's website and are tailored to downtown residents, visitors to the area, businesses, and their employees.
We're very pleased that the city does check in with us on these things, or if we go to them with an idea, they're happy to listen to us.
According to the city's website, the study will provide recommendations to help guide future parking decisions, but any changes to parking rules, rates, and operations would be considered separately. Eric Tashner, CTV News, North Bay.
Lifeguards at public beaches will be going off duty in the next week or so, depending on where you live. Lifeguards will no longer be present at beaches in Sudbury and North Bay starting this Sunday, August 23rd. Gillies Lake in Timmins has shortened hours for lifeguards in August. Both Timmins and Elliott Lake will see staffing end later this month. And speaking of course, we got to talk about the weather. We're going to go to a short break and then Tony will have your full weather forecast. But for now, a look at the current conditions around the region. So we've got cloudy skies out there sitting at 13 degrees in the Sioux, clear skies in North Bay sitting at 15 degrees there. Your full forecast is coming up next.
Welcome back and good evening, everyone. Let's start with our forecast radar. Going to be clear overnight for the most part. Then tomorrow morning, you can see increased activity, especially in through Sault Ste. Marie, a chance of showers there. Also rippling through Chapleau, Kapuskasing into the far north communities. Then later on in the afternoon, in through Sudbury, northeast, also in through Temiskaming Shores, Timmins, Kirkland Lake, Englehart. You'll also see your fair share of rain. And then we start to get a little clearing on Wednesday, and then pockets of activity in through Chapleau, Sudbury, North Bay, scattered shower activity expected. Here's your 7-day weather forecast, starting with Sudbury, Nickel Belt. Tomorrow, well, sun, cloud, and a chance of rain. 24 degrees, should be 23 normally this time of year. Much the same type of forecast for Wednesday, Thursday. Starts to cool off a little bit Friday, but one constant, the showers, more rain for the weekend. Monday, a mix of sun and cloud, and on the cool side, 20 degrees. For Sault Ste. Marie, Algoma, sun, cloud, and a chance of precipitation. 23 degrees, should be 22 this time of year. That's the temperature on Wednesday. Thursday, again, a little bit of sunshine. Ticks up temperature-wise, then the temp falls on Friday. A little cooler Saturday, Sunday. Sunday, not all that bad, though. You might get some sunny breaks in there, but still below seasonal temperatures. For Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing, sun, cloud, and a chance of rain. 22, slightly below normal. And it's going to be cool in through Wednesday, Thursday, Friday compared to what we're used to. Saturday drops even lower. Take a look, 18, 17, and it's going to be wet. More rain is on the way. For Temiskaming Shores and Kirkland Lake tomorrow, sun, cloud, and a chance of showers. 24 degrees. Wednesday, Thursday, much the same. Temperature kind of fluctuates a little bit. Less sunshine in through Friday And the weekend, Monday next week, not all that great, 19 when it should be 23 degrees as a daytime high. And finally, your 7-day weather forecast for North Bay. West Nipissing, well, some sun, some cloud, and a chance of rain. 25 degrees, slightly above normal. We hit the norm mark on Wednesday, temperature-wise, and a little sunshine in there. Friday, overcast, 22 degrees. In through Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, it's going to be wet. Amanda Hicks, it's back over to you.
Thanks for that, Tony. Ontario's big city mayors are calling on Queen's Park to address what they describe as a humanitarian crisis when it comes to homelessness and addiction. CTV's Siobhan Morris reports.
There are human tragedies playing out every day on sidewalks and in parks across the province.
We can't continue to walk around or step over. We have to solve this.
Ontario's big city mayors pleading for help, urging the provincial government to declare a state of emergency to tackle homelessness and addictions, dual crises putting a strain on cities and towns. While Queen's Park has put up $500 million for treatment hubs, it's only a drop in the ocean of what mayors say is required.
We are funding $4 billion on an issue that properly sits with provincial and federal governments to fund. We're doing that out of the property tax base. It's simply not sustainable.
Big city mayors want the Ford government to consider forcing drug treatment on people without their consent, asking for a panel that might include mental health experts and lawyers.
We need to do this in a thoughtful way with appropriate people and safeguards that protect people's human rights, that work to get people the care that they need.
Toronto's top mayoral challenger doesn't want to wait.
The time for study is over. People have waited long enough. People are dying on our streets now, and we need to course correct.
The current mayor batting away the question of mandatory treatment.
Well, let's make sure there's treatment first. The provincial government owns the city about $20 million.
To cover supportive housing, a gap mental health advocates say needs to be filled.
We don't have enough support for what I call voluntary treatment, individuals who are stepping forward and saying, I really want to reclaim my life.
Ontario's NDP not sticking out a firm position for now.
What is required here is both a plan based on evidence and based on empathy.
Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
The federal government is stepping up in Sudbury with more than $780,000 for issues surrounding homelessness and encampments. Member of Parliament for Sudbury, Vivian Lapointe, says the money will go directly to outreach and response services in the city. The funding comes from the federal government's Unsheltered Homelessness and Encampments Initiative. Sudbury Mayor Paul Lefebvre said in a written statement the money would be used to fund frontline services. More than $45,000 is headed to the Timmins and District Hospital to support women's health. A ladies' golf tournament hosted by the Kin Club of Timmins raised the money this summer, and they presented the check today. Over the last 3 years, the tournament has raised more than $116,000 for the Breast Wellness Center. The money has been used to support capital improvements that help in both diagnosing and treating breast cancer. A London woman is turning children's drawings into a one-of-a-kind stuffed animals for kids battling cancer. As CTV's Lawrence Stallone reports, Kayla O'Connell started Brave Buddies after her own son was diagnosed with a tumor.
Good job. Every child dreams of seeing their creations come to life, and Kayla O'Connell is turning those dreams into a reality.
So drawing here, and then I sew it all up. I try to match it as closely as possible.
The charming illustrations come from children battling cancer.
Being able to bring that to life for them, whatever their imagination is, for them to bring to treatment, for them to bring to appointments, those really tough days.
The idea came to O'Connell after going through what she recalls as one of the toughest times in her life.
I noticed a lump on my little one's belly. He was 15 months at the time. We brought him into Emerge here in London. and quickly found out that it was a tumor growing on his kidney, which had to be removed.
O'Connell says she received a call that the surgery was a success and her son would not need chemotherapy.
Your whole life changes. You don't know what's next, but we were so thankful for that. Now with that, we were exposed to lots of things, a world we never knew about, which was children living with childhood cancer.
And from there, Brave Buddies was born.
They can draw whatever they like, and there's some really amazing drawings that come in with lots of detail.
O'Connell says she works with ChildCan, a charity located in London, Ontario, that supports children and families affected by childhood cancer.
I get to witness, as part of this job here, is witness those really good, meaningful times where kids do get that rest, but they do, get to briefly, forget about everything that's going on and just enjoy this moment. This is just one of many supports that we provide, but this one is it's something we've never done before.
O'Connell says she's made roughly 12 stuffies since January, but hopes this is just the beginning for Brave Buddies.
This project is giving them an opportunity to be creative. It gives me an opportunity to be creative, and then it brings smiles to both of us.
In London, Lawrence Stallone, CTV News.
The Sioux Area Hospital got a facelift over the weekend. 9 newly transformed Smile Zones were unveiled in the hospital's pediatric spaces. You can see from the before and after photos, the cheerful upgrades include colorful murals and child-friendly designs. The goal with the new decor is to reduce stress and anxiety for kids and their families while at the hospital. These renovations were funded through community donations during last year's Tim Hortons holiday campaign and this year's Smile Cookie campaign, as well as donations from Tim Hortons restaurants in the community. Still ahead tonight on CTV News. A career fair is coming to Sudbury this week. Details after the break. An employment agency in Sudbury is offering up a relaxed atmosphere for job seekers to connect with potential employers. Spark Employment Services will be holding a job fair this Wednesday in Memorial Park. The 3rd annual Spark Up Your Summer event will include 40 hiring employers on hand to connect and engage with job seekers, as well as family-friendly activities and entertainment. Organizers say they hope the park provides a comfortable environment.
Looking for work is hard work. It's very anxiety driven. And so this creates a really fun, inviting atmosphere to be able to connect with folks and to be able to sort of take that step forward to introduce yourself and to see what's out there.
Macla reminds job seekers to bring their resume to the event from 10 to 3 at Memorial Park. Cameras will soon be rolling in the Temiskaming Shores area. Production will get underway this weekend for That Summer, an independent short film shooting in Coleman Township along the Montreal River. Directed by Sudbury's Darby Kay and produced by 1+1 Productions, the drama comedy follows 6 friends who reunite for a weekend away at a cottage. Originally created and set in British Columbia, the script was readapted to fit the Northern Ontario landscape. The film focuses on Indigenous, BIPOC, and 2S LGBTQ+ character arcs.
I am myself a queer person, and when I read this script, I thought, this would be a fun movie regardless, but I think by simply placing it in a small Northern Ontario community, it becomes so much more powerful just by showing that queer and BIPOC people do exist in rural Ontario.
With filming set for August 21st to 23rd, Costello says the team ultimately aims to submit the film to festivals once post-production wraps up. Finally for us tonight, Special Olympians returned home to Sudbury with some extra heavy luggage. A crowd of around 30 friends and family members was on hand at the airport yesterday to greet athletes from the Sudbury Special Olympics team. They touched down after a phenomenal showing at the national competition in Medicine Hat, Alberta, bringing home a combined 5 medals. We caught up with the athletes today as they celebrated their hard-earned hardware.
We had a team of 5 athletes that went.
We had 1 in powerlifting, 1 in 10-pin bowling, 2 in bocce, and 1 in swimming. There's only 2 athletes that did not get medals, but the whole process of getting to nationals on its own is a merit, right? So they did all awesome.
It was good, lots of training, lots of time in the gym, but it was worth the time in the gym.
It's different, very different than being around family. I was nervous at first, I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, it was fun.
More like meeting new friends and stuff, sharing stories, all that.
My dad got some training for me to do there to advance my game for next year.
There were more than 40 Special Olympians from Northern Ontario competing in Alberta last week. Congratulations to all of the athletes. And that's all the time we have tonight. Thanks for watching. Good night.